It's been 2 years since the first state laws brought to us the active concept of student athletes receiving economic benefit from their use of their name, image, and likeness. And I'm going to be clear as I can. Our activities in Congress, our discussions with states, and even discussions of conference policies are not about taking away this new name, image, and likeness opportunities. In many ways, it's been a net positive for young people. But we all know there are stories. Some stories told and others not told, of promises made but not fulfilled, of inducements offered but not provided, of empty commitments, of NIL agreements that created more questions than provided answers, and other behaviors in this space that rightly cause concern. And the reality is our student athletes deserve something better than a patchwork of state laws that support their name, image, and likeness activity, if support is the right word. Our student athletes deserve something better than a race to the bottom at the state legislature level, as the efforts are made to create what are perceived as a competitive edge through state laws that are not overseen. Future student athletes, those who right now might be 15 or 16 or 17 years old, they deserve something better than to need to sort through a fully unregulated marketplace, being approached by individuals who present themselves as something that they may not be, where anyone can purchase card stock and run it through a printer and call themselves an agent on a business card, and then engage in making offers to young people that are neither transparent, that do not include protections that many of us would expect to be normal. And it makes it difficult for young people to both understand and navigate this free-for-all as they're trying to make life-guiding and life-changing decisions. To our knowledge, no state has taken action to enforce its own state laws around name, image, and likeness activity. At the same time, we've seen in a number of states laws enacted that bar associations, the NCAA, or conferences, including the Southeastern Conference, from enforcing what, at our level, at the conference level, are still to be adopted, if ever, NIL policies. In other words, the states haven't been active in enforcing laws, and now states are preventing the NCAA or conferences from adopting and enforcing reasonable name, image, and likeness standards. If states will not enforce the laws, and states are going to prohibit the NCAA or conferences from enforcing these reasonable policies, congressional action is then the only way to provide a national uniform standard for name, image, and likeness activity, and to draw the lines around the boundaries that do not become simply pay for play. Now, these realities I've described are in contrast to what we hear from our student athlete leaders who gathered with us in late June. Our student athletes continue to ask for uniformity in name, image, and likeness policies across the country. Our student athletes want to know their competitors on the opposite line of scrimmage are subject and governed by the same rules and policies by which they are governed. Uniformity will ensure a high school student and his or her family do not have to investigate potentially dozens of different state laws or university policies to figure out how they can be active in this name, image, and likeness world. Student athletes ask for our help in guiding them through these challenges. We are used to providing support, and they want protections for themselves and their teammates, and they want opportunities for their international teammates that are consistent across the country under this name, image, and likeness heading. And they want the same for their competitors. I think you know there's also been an ongoing effort to deem student athletes as employees of institutions or conferences or the NCAA. I have yet to have a conversation with an engaged, participating student athlete who says they want to be deemed an employee of their institution or the conference. Efforts like those that have happened in California, mandating revenue, create new threats around the support of Olympic and women's sports. The bill that was introduced that has been delayed failed to adequately recognize the existing requirements of Title IX, and we were pleased to see the engagement and the efforts of the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee to share their concerns along with the Women's Sports Foundations. Efforts to simply upend the collegiate model place in jeopardy the opportunities for thousands of student athletes for decades to come. Our current student athletes are accustomed to attending college thanks to athletic scholarships. They benefit from unlimited nutritional support. We're accustomed to providing mental wellness. They have post-eligibility medical care. They have academic support so that they can achieve their academic goals. And our primary objective is to continue these broad-based, widespread opportunities through experiences, friendships, learning opportunities, competitive opportunities that are inherent in the higher education setting and a continuing focus for those of us in college athletics. The reality is, only Congress can fully address the challenges facing college athletics. The NCAA cannot fix all of these issues. The courts cannot resolve all of these issues. The states cannot resolve all of these issues, nor can the conferences. Whether congressional action is achievable is a matter of debate, much debate. But educational opportunity, supporting equitable opportunities for men and for women, ensuring the United States' continued success in the Olympic Games, providing medical care, nutritional support, academic support, mental wellness counseling. These are nonpartisan issues that deserve a nonpartisan solution. Regardless of my opinion or your opinion about the ability for Congress to act in our current environment, we have a responsibility to educate, communicate, and to try to seek a congressional resolution, because only Congress can adequately resolve these issues. That's why I traveled along with representatives of 14 of our universities to DC in early June, where we had the opportunity to communicate with dozens of members of Congress about the urgent need to enact a national standard that ensures everyone is playing by the same set of rules. We're accustomed to that in college athletics. We seek the empowerment of college athletes while also protecting them from bad actors. We want to continue, and we want to be certain that we in college sports at the highest level provide a broad array of sports offerings. And we want to provide certainty that college athletes can continue to be students first. Despite the cynicism, despite the criticisms, and the acknowledgement that we're certainly not perfect, remarkable things happen in intercollegiate athletics for young people. And NIL has provided new opportunities. And the reality is that those opportunities have to be embraced. But let's not kid ourselves into believing this is the best that we can do for our young people. Congress should not allow states, under the false pretense of progress, to upend a system that provides opportunities for all college athletes, men and women, universities and colleges of all different sizes, football players, divers, track and field competitors, and baseball and softball players and gymnasts. And this is a system that funds our Olympic support and our Olympic development opportunities. Witness that right now on 12 U.S. national teams, there are over 120 current or former SEC athletes training in the effort to realize their dream of being an Olympian in Paris. This includes 53 track and field athletes, 31 in swimming and diving, and 9 participating with USA basketball. At the Tokyo Games, 80 of our athletes were competitors, participating under the Team USA heading, and every one of our current 14 members had at least one participant in Team USA. On behalf of our currently just over 7,000 athletes and the future generations of athletes who seek to go pro in sports, to be future Olympians, many who will use their athletics experience to become teachers and doctors and lawyers and bankers and researchers and community leaders, the very pillars of our community, I urge Congress to act now to support a healthy collegiate sports system in this nation.